But alhamdulillah, it was a great experience. Initially, at the first place, there are this statement or misunderstanding between we and the Independence. Because what other people thought is our duties was not. Others went as far as even asking me, what is their percentage in my salary? it was crazy. But alhamdulillah, through that dialogue, we had a great understanding. For the second one, because the first one was like a bit tense, but the second one was very, very much easy. I think Activista did a great work for us, because if at all we did not have that engagement with our people, during election or campaign, it would be very, very much difficult to experience anything. But having that dialogue with our people helped us.
Thank you.
So, during this presentation, we make mention of the team budget that the Ministry of Youth and Sport is operating on that. Then they say the youth matter. But anyway, I'm a coach, and I know some of us are here maybe might also understand about the field. If I don't I'm a team manager, you will not do anything without discussing with the coach, because I think the coach knows the team better than any other person. And the coach might know the areas that he or she might want to strengthen in the field. So likewise, in all those areas, like in agriculture, they have youth component, and we have other ministries or institutions that have youth component. But those people might not understand exactly how the youth matters work. So in that regard, they should work with the Ministry of Youth and Sport, so that the youth and sport can also coordinate or do oversight on certain things, because they know the field better than other areas. So because sometimes they give loans or support to the wrong people. This is what is also increasing our barway or issues like that. And so when it comes to a CDF, though for my area in Bondali, I did not have that problem, because I'm sure most of the people understand how it works. But anyway, having to work with your own executive, and sometimes people do politicize. This is the Gambia. We all know most of our people, they politicize many things. If you call people so that they can come and then maybe have that, maybe executive or a development committee. I did it when I first come in. But what happened? People, misunderstood it. They thought that, I was trying to maybe eliminate my colleagues or my opponent. So that did not work. So I have to rely with my committee so that, we can identify the project that we want to do in the area. Alhamdulillah, that worked very well. Also, the issue of engagement, he did mention of the issue of engagement. Engagement is good. And then the recommendation that he gave here was, if at all it will happen, that will be the best thing. For us to have a budget that we can use so that we can have engagement with our people. Because without Activista, sorry, let me complete this one. Without Activista, it will be very difficult for us to have engagement with our people. But with this recommendation, I think it's very important.
Alright, so thank you so much, Honorable. Your concerns are very noted and your recommendations are noted as well. So he took exactly 2 minutes to do his deliberations, and some people felt like it was too long. So what we will do is we'll limit it to a minute, please. So we will do the deliberations in majority 2 minutes. Majority 2 minutes. Yeah, not beyond 2 minutes. But what I'll also do for those that want to speak, after I pass the mic, I will do a ballot. You'll pick your number. Thank you.
Do a ballot. Thank you very much. Madam, for giving me the floor. I want to thank Activista for organizing this. I think there was a time Gambia was organizing such kind of things. There was a time I had such kind of engagement with my electorate in one of the village in my constituency. But this is very, very important. I want to thank Cherno for his presentation. But there is one thing that I don't see in your presentation, that is access to justice. Access to justice. When you go to some of the areas, in some of the rural areas, they find it very difficult for their case to be settled, especially the CRR North. There are so many cases there because of the insufficient magistrate in those areas. Looking at the presentation that you also mentioned about the CDF, yes, I want to say that I'm not blowing my own trumpet here. But for me, what I always use is the councillors. I use the councillors to identify, ask them, even in my absence, I ask them to go to their villages to find out what their needs are. They discuss with them after they supply those communities to me. And through those communities, I send it to the National Assembly. You have GDC. You have GDC in Same. There's a councillor in GDC. Yeah, please, don't interrupt. Just please wait for your time. Wait for your time. If your times come, whatever you want to say, you can say. But it is a very important session, and there are so many things, even at the education aspect. When you look at the education aspect, like persons with disability, you go to certain areas. Still now there are gaps that needs to be done. Our duties, you have already mentioned that. But we know our areas more than the executive. And more than the council. Even more than the executive, we know. We can put to the minister that we want so and so road. Through your advocacy, those things can be done. Through your advocacy. Not that you can force them to do it, but you can advocate. If you advocate, the ministers, they will hear that. Through that, they can do something about it. Even health also, through your advocacy, they can do that one also. Look at the whole CRR North. The whole CRR North, look, if they want to, how to call it, take, these things. They only go to Bansang. Bansang is the only referral place in CRR, both North and South. But I think it is high time now that CRR North also should have a referral hospital, not only Bansang. We should I always advocate for that. And I will continue to advocate for it. Thank you very much, madam.
Should I go on? Okay, before starting the numbers, sometimes before, I am number one, madam, just relax. Okay, I will just contribute a bit, particularly about the first with the thanking the Activista, and I'm thanking Chero for his presentation, and I am assuring him here that the NAMs are always open to the CSOs, and that we are very much grateful with the Activista particularly. Myself, I have had an encounter with them in my constituency twice, yes. And both of them were successful. And it has helped to clear a lot of misunderstanding and misconceptions, because this is a problem in our country for today. People use the social media not for the betterment. They try to blackmail, they try to spread misconceptions, and they try to propaganda. So for NAMS, they cannot have a very welcoming activity more than this, to get back to their people and talk to them. And being you know it, you don't know it, NAMS are writing from their end to have support, to reach back to their people in an organized manner, so that they can present what they have for them, what they are doing for them, and what their roles are, and also to clear things like this. When it comes to the CDF, all of us know, like you said, we don't have hands on it. All we do is to write on a form and submit. And if we could have more than this, we will be more than happy to do more for our people. But our hands are tied too. Like you said, 2024, we didn't receive it, and still we were following. And our people are asking those questions. That's why, to an extent, some of a group of NAMs were saying that since this CDF is very small, it's better we forgo it and take that money to another side. Because it's definitely very small to do a project at your end. What can you do with that? Only a borehole. So there are health centers lines without materials and equipments. We could have each NAM being supported to have a standard health center with this CDF, like other countries. And the other thing is about the salary of the nurse that you talk about. It is disheartening on this 21st century. That should have been done away with. When I came as a teacher in 2004, I experienced the same thing, and I thought that should be a history. When I don't be surprised when I came as a NAM, after 3 months, I was not paid. So you could understand that I came on a by-election, single. So I was not paid. I followed it amicably. And when I ended a term, also they said I will not have my gratuity. Could you understand? But with all that, I try to handle it diplomatically and professionally. So young youths of this country, let us handle issues professionally and diplomatically. None of the people here or you in the parliament had me shouting, howling, fighting. I wrote to the authorities that are concerned, the stakeholders concerned, and I followed it professionally until I had my gratuity paid. I fought it all by myself. So let us be human rights fighters. Nobody is more human rights fighter than myself, Honorable So. I don't fight my own issues. You can do anything to me, it's all right. But touch a friend or a family, you see me. So, but let us do it amicably and professionally, an organized manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Actually, sadly, I have to reduce the time to a minute, and I want to give priority. Priority. You know how you give priority pass to people? I want to give priority pass to members of the civil society to have the chance to ask questions. Otherwise, if honorable members speak first, something must happen. So let's start with civil society. Please, honorable members, bear with us, and we'll come back to you respectfully. Civil society, who's the next number? Honorable member has 1. Who is 2? 3. Who is the list number from civil society?
I have
20. No, you have 7. 4, 6, and 7. So we'll go to 4. Diva folded all the papers, but forgot to pick one for himself.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Hamza Sise, former focal person, Activista Gambia in URR, and I was coordinating these sessions in our region in URR. So I just want to raise some quick issues here. First, the Public Order Act. Are we a serious people if we have to maintain this law that was enacted by colonial masters? And this issue has always been going to the parliament, but nobody is doing anything about it. So please, honorable members, I don't have much time, but let us look at this thing keenly. And somebody's talking about doing things professionally or whatsoever. If you want people to do it professionally, you need to create the enabling environment for them. If you don't give them this space, you will force them to do how they want to do it. And we wouldn't want to live in a country that is not governed by laws that favor us all. Please let us look at this thing very keenly. The other issue is about the Constituency Development Fund. And I think this is a burning issue in many constituencies. For me, I think National Assembly members need to look at this issue very critically. This fund is not able to provide the development your people need in your constituencies because the money is quite small. How about think about this fund, use it to do engagements in your regions, in your districts. Because when you are going to have sessions, you need to be able to talk to your people, to tell them what they are thinking, so you can enact. But many of you complain that you don't have resources to travel back home to consult people. So if this is the case, you have this fund, instead of putting it into boreholes that will not last long, just for political score points, how about use that money to be engaging your people when you are going for sessions at the National Assembly, so that you speak on behalf of these people, because you are a messenger. So I think it's important we look at these two issues very critically, and they have been coming up in all the dialogues in our region. So this is the point I want to put up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We move to number 6. Where's your 3? I saw you smiling, so I suspected you. So let's move to number 6, civil society. We'll give civil society 6 to 10, then we move to National Assembly members.
Okay, thank you very much. Flex, should I be on camera? All right, thank you very much. My name is Mohammed, part of Activista, the Gambia. Yes, for me, I believe that National Assembly can change things. We've seen, especially, particularly, when there was a problem. For example, initially in the Constitution, you had 14 days to deliver or deliberate on the budget. But later, Honorable Mbow extended that through a private member bill to extend that, to make sure that the executive bring the budget earlier. So for me, build frameworks, and sometimes it's sad to say, definitely, when things comes, we don't look at it at a general perspective, but we look at it at partisan perspective, through partisan lens. And these are sometimes things that are haunting you. For me, I believe the National Assembly, just like Kenya does, just like Uganda does, you need to have, an engagement, a constituency engagement during the budget even. For them, what they do normally is the budget formulation process starts 6 months. You understand? When the executive goes and they do their consultation, they come back and report to the National Assembly. Then what happened? The National Assembly go back to those constituencies to confirm. And this was a framework that was created by the National Assembly, because you create those laws. You pass the laws. So create frameworks that will help you to do your work. Not to come and say, oh, the executive is not doing this, they are not doing that. But if you create these constitutional frameworks, the legal frameworks, it will strengthen your work as National Assembly members. But not if maybe Honorable Mbo bring a National Assembly private member bill and you see it as, oh, this is NPP alliance, then the opposition must go against that bill. When Honorable Sao brought the bill, the Public Order Act, it was a progressive law. Even in CSOs, we endorsed that law. We went through the law to interrogate the law to see that, wow, this is so good, to change from the regime of application to notification regime. You understand? And now we are seeing the same problems happening. Now you have to seek for permit. No, you don't have permit. And we are having those kind of problems. So for me is don't see the private member bill, a private member bill through partisan lens rather, but a progressive lens towards addressing issues that will help your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I think in Chairman's presentation, he made it clear that citizens have concern around that they are urging the National Assembly members to remove the cap of political parties and focus on Gambia as a progressive nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Satang. Yes, I always want to start when I speak. My name is Honorable Ahmad Mbai, the chairperson, Activista CRR South. Yeah, in my deliberation, what I want to say is, under the agriculture and the oversight function of the National Assembly's members, your oversight functions should target on the, when you come to agriculture, I think you should see these projects that are on the agriculture. We have how many projects? Almost 9 to 11 projects on the agriculture. When I listened to Almami Jiba, there was one sitting that he was saying, if you go to the country, you will see thousands of billboards in the roads, but go and see the beneficiaries themselves. There is no impact have been done. I said that. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and that is true. If you are given $1,000 for support, you come and buy a compound in the combo, build it. How can you have your project at the village there? It will not work. And the same year, you are supporting one person for how many projects? Roots, giraffe, gaps, all of those projects are supporting one individual. How do you expect other people to go? They won't move. The other thing is the CDF. You know, that was reduce the politicalize in our people. Because if you are elected by a party, if your party nominates you to run for an election, if you win, you are for the old people, not for that individual party. But if you are consulting with these people, you consult only with the people the party that you are in. Most of the National Assembly members consult only the people that are with them in the same party. That is the reality, because we are all living in these areas. So we want that to be changed, the narrative to change. You are elected by the people, even if I don't vote for you, but you are working for me. Make sure that anything that is coming, consult everybody. Consult everybody, put everybody in the picture to know that this is what is going on. But if only your party members know what you are doing, then still now things are going wrong. We will always point finger on you, saying that you are not doing the right thing. And that is true. The third thing is for the NAMs in our area, Nyamina. They are here, they will agree with me. Honorable So said that they are looking for funds so that they can go to their people. How many times have we organized this kind of activities? People, the NAM to come and interface with their people to tell them what is their work. We have been doing that. How many years? It's just recently in the morning I was speaking to my assembly member here, telling her this year we don't have that budget. But what I was thinking and what I suggested that should have happened, every year that you want to do that, come to our aid. We are here for you and for your people. Tell us that this is what we want to do so that we can incorporate in our budget so that we can have that one. As a reason, I told him that we are going to have interface with our councillors and our chairpersons in our district, in our district. But this year we don't have that amount of budget for you people. And they should have come earlier and tell us that we want this and this to happen, but we don't have this fund. We can incorporate that one so that it can be one. They face their people to tell them what is their work so that people will not have two minds of them. If people don't see you, don't know you, they will always point finger on you, telling you you are not doing the right thing. And you are the fault of that person who are not doing the right thing. You should come down to the people, tell them this is my work, you don't have that money, but we are there to help you to make sure that things have gone at the right thing, at the right time, so that we will not have two minds of you. But if things goes like this, we will keep on pointing on you and telling you are not doing your work. And that is the truth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mbai. I told you in the beginning, everybody in this hall is an honorable member. Number? Number?
No, put your budget and we don't need to tell you put the budget. No. I don't need to tell you that. You have
So,
to put your budget and call.
all right, so the mountain goes to Moses, or Moses goes to the mountain.
No, it's not that.
It's all the same.
Budget. He puts his budget.
Yes.
Let him put budget to call NAMS. It's not my budget.
Honorable Mbai. Honorable Mbai. Hello. Let's be progressive, please. Let us be progressive, please. Hello. We are calling for an amicable dialogue. As we said, in this room. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Please, let's allow the chair.
If you hear me say aye. So you all hear me. All right. So now, there is an agreement that Moses goes to the mountain goes to Moses. It's all the same. We are all working for the same interests. We are all partners. Somebody said it here in the beginning, huh? We are partners. We are working towards a similar goal, if not the same goal. So whether Moses goes to see the mountain or the mountain moves to Moses' house, something is being achieved.
No, madam, we will send him. We will send him. No, we will send him.
So, all right. So now we'll give 3 National Assembly members to speak. 3 National Assembly members. You had one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would first of all like to say thank you to Activista. Since there are indications of coming up with amendment of Public Order Act, I'm sure you will all agree with me that this have been tried to come up with a private member bill from an opposition member. It failed simply because we know what kind of a parliament we have in the Gambia. When certain bills are before the National Assembly members, we politicize everything. This is no secret to anybody here. This is the simple reason why that bill was killed at an early stage. But I want to make a proposal to the CSO groups. When certain bills are tabled or are about to be tabled before the National Assembly, let the CSOs engage National Assembly members and put it to them that this is not about partisan, this is about our nation. I believe when such engagements are done, we may see certain changes when it comes to certain bad laws in our country. I thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much. I must thank Activista for creating an avenue between me and my people back in Lower Badibu. And your, of course, engagement has cleared misconception and misunderstanding between my office and some people in my constituency. So I must thank you for that. As people's representatives, I think as NAMS, we should listen to the concerns and plight of our people. And what I have just learned from Mr. Gay through their findings is that the issue of Public Order Act. We all know this Public Order Act was introduced by our colonial masters in order to, of course, prevent or to stifle dissent during colonial days, to prevent our independent fighters to engage into certain activities in order to demand independence from them. I believe this law is archaic, is out of fashion, and this world is moving. As he rightly said, when it was, the bill was brought to the National Assembly, the expectation was, as modern members of the national, or as the 6th legislature, I believe that we are all modern people. And this particular law is an old law. And in fact, not only an old law, it does not represent the interest of this country at the moment. So the expectation was this was going to be debated on, and at the end of the day, we of course change it completely, so that now we can also see ourselves in among the civilized nations. I'm not saying we are not civilized, but this particular law, we all know that it does not represent the whims and caprices of Gambian people. It is serving only a few people. And they decided to maintain this law in order to, cement themselves into power. This is the fact. I'm sorry, but I have to mention it. I'm not done. The issue of CDF. The issue of CDF. I must thank Activista for educating our people about this CDF. Most of the people, especially the people of Kiang, there was a time he has found himself into a hot soup, because his people were telling him that no, you must of course give us what we know is ours, the CDF. They don't understand that Honorable Sise does not even lay his hand on dollars. But based on I must recommend you, but I will urge you to intensify your campaign on this issue of CDF. This CDF is creating a lot of confusion between the NAMs and the electors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Please, number 3.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking Activista for a job well done. I always tell people I'm proud to become a National Assembly member, not because of my academic knowledge. I always put that aside. One thing that I'm very proud of is my 20 years community work experience. This is what helped me to find this work easier for myself. Because when you came there, in fact, I just talk, but you can even be a witness. My people said everything. There was nothing that they don't understand. What is holding this country development backward is our own attitude. We have very good laws. Like this public act that we are talking about, it was something used by the coalition to campaign against the previous government. And then now, when you people came in, you want us to remove it. Somebody even wants some of the names, they have to come to me to say that, this was Jammeh's law. I said, don't tell me that Jammeh's law. What do you want me to do now? That's how they see it. No, that's what they told me, so that they were looking for me to back them, so that I will support. I said, no, it has to go out. So the same people who said they want this law out before coming to power, we are the same people who retain this law. So it is about attitude. Even if you go to these audit books, you look at the Finance Public Act 2014. A lot of things are happening in offices. That total we have lost to deter people doing it. People continue doing it. And then again, this constituency development fund, like having these development committees, I formed my own committee. Immediately I won elections. I went to the alcalos. After thanking them, I said, I want every village to select male and female to be my development committee. You know what happened? Because myself and the chief, we are not on the same side. The chief also formed his own committee. But that was never effective. So if I call these people meeting, he will call them, but he has nothing to tell them. And then recently again, an advisor went to my place to attack me for telling that I'm not doing enough because I don't bring any project to them. He does not even know my role. These are people who are even working directly with the president. And they are going against me, telling people that I don't bring projects, not even knowing what I'm doing inside. I can even bet anyone who wants to go to Fonyi Jaro and ask them, what is your honorable doing here? There is nothing that is happening because I always communicate to my committee. They can tell you even right now, where am I? I even put in the group, I call someone to tell them, today we have a training on this and this and this. Much more whatever I'm doing there. But now because I'm an opposition to government, they are there to oppose anything that I'm doing good. And I'm also there to fire back anything that I want to.
Thank you. Number 3. Number 4.
ladies first. Hello. Thank you so much, Activista Gambia. Hello. I really appreciate the great work, the great job done by the Activista, because of the engagement I have with them. Some of our people in my constituency were able to understand the kind of activities National Assembly normally do, and the development I did in my constituency, because there was a man who don't even follow social media. Through our engagement with the Activista, the man was able to understand the kind of development I'm doing at the constituency level. But the engagement this CSO was talking about, I think it doesn't require any budget for CSOs or any organization to organize a budget for a National Assembly member. Because I organized a constituency dialogue through my own budget, 100,000. I organized constituency tour, whereby I meet my people from one village to another, the whole district. And I hear from my people. They explain to me what they want. And I did that one twice. My first year in the parliament, the third year in the parliament, I organized constituency tour. Through my own money, I didn't demand any budget from any institution or any group of people or any party, because I know that I've been paid. For the Constituency Development Fund, I never use any political party, no executive, none other political party. What the people I normally use, they are the VDC chairman, the Alikaros, and even inform the chief, despite the fact I was an opposition, and I am still an independent candidate. I informed the chief that I am coming to call for a meeting, and he invited all the Alikaros, all the VDC chairmen, where I explain about the Constituency Development Fund, and they decide how to implement it. They are the people who say, this is the way I want you to implement this Constituency Development Fund. And for the women representative, I always say this: we are few in the parliament, and we want a lot of women to be in the parliament. And I will tell you your weakness. There are lapses in us, our gender. The reason is low self-esteem. We don't believe in ourselves. And we don't also support each other, women. That's the problem we have. And the community engagement is so limited. You want people to elect you, and you are far from your people. The connection between the women and the electorate is very wide. But men, they are always with their people, every time. So if you want to be a National Assembly member, you went and post something outside that I want to be a National Assembly member. What the Mandinkas always said, a woman want to become a National Assembly member, you just post something just now, in this year, that you want to challenge a man who is sitting there. Before the time, I think the man will finish you. So women, if you want to be National Assembly member, hide and prepare yourself, be closer to your people, and be ready to invest, and so that we can remove a lot of them. Thank you. Honorable. Okay. Order, please. Order, please. We will now go back to civil society.
All right. Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon. Please, can I have your listening ear, please? All right. I want to be very deliberate here. particularly on the issue of the Public Order Act. For me, the names are stated here. We are all aware, whether you are there or not. There are laws that we have passed at the Assembly. There are no argument on them. Particularly issues that affect their salaries and allowances. Very easily passed. There is not like a rival or, they are all friends there. But when issues that address the interests of the citizens, the nation, these are where political interest comes in. They will divide themselves deliberately. So on that side, I think what they lack is the interest of the nation first. Honestly speaking, issues of salaries were increased here multiple times. You never disagree or fight, and no name has been paid and rejected or returned it. If it has happened, I don't see it in the record. Or maybe I will need to consult the records. So where you could come together to fight for your common good, you could do the same for the nation. You can do this for us. Honestly, you can do it. If you see, maybe also you want us to be arrested on the streets and you come out and bail us. Or you come out and show solidarity. Maybe this is what you want. But this can be addressed, honestly. And then the other thing is, you go to the constituencies, they don't have this. We want to talk about you having an office. It's important this is established. But my fear is going to be, it is going to be politicized. It will be a political house. Yes, it will be a political house. You will see a political party married to the house and will never want to, release it even when they lose power. The other thing is, I have a question for the NAMs, please. I want to know whether you have a bill that addresses private companies, particularly on issue of salaries. We have Gambians that are working in private companies. They have paid very less. Very less. Please, I want to know if you have this bill, and if no, are you ready to pass any bill that addresses Gambians that are working in private companies? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about something which I have not heard anyone making reference to it here. And I was very lucky to have this session, this constituency dialogue with 4 NAMs. And this is what I put to them. Gambia right now, I am very afraid. And then, thank you, yes. And they are here. I told them this. You see, what happened in Rwanda started exactly the way Gambia is. It's just the same. Those of us who are very lucky enough to read the literature of Rwandan genocide, this is how it happened. People don't take heed when some of these tribalisms and other stuffs are going on. And can you imagine, 100 days, 800,000 people lost their life. And this thing is going on in this country here. I went to Fonyi Bondale, I told this guy, because there was an issue there during their by-election. I told him, what are some of the things that you as the National Assembly member of your region, or of your constituency, what are some of the things that you put in place to make sure that you address this issue of tribalism? No answer. Even if there was, but it doesn't make sense. And the same thing I put to Honorable Sane also, and also to Honorable Baji there. No, I put it to you. It was a very lengthy question. I can remember you told me the question was, it was lengthy. No, all right, okay, it's okay. But then I did it because it is very important and it is concerning. People are not talking about it. All what we are talking about is, yes, these things are very important, but if there is no peace, if we cannot sit together as Mandinkas and Fulas and Jolas, what is the essence of having this kind of dialogue? And this is very important. So I think this is what I have, and I want people to see these things as very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who is number 9, please? Who is 8? 8. Karambo, I trust you. I know you will not forge the 8. Who is 8? These young people, they will fight their numbers. Yeah, it's 8. It's 8, yeah. Yes. It's 8, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I think, first of all, I would like to register my appreciation to the organizers of this event. This is the dismay of coming, speaking last in a gathering. If you're the last to talk, you have two options. One, to create joke, or two, to repeat what people have said. And a lot has been said. This engagement started way in our constituencies, and we know the impact that it have done for us and our people. As NAMS, I think we have two options here. One, to take note, and two, to clarify issues. And sometimes what we're doing, we are getting into probably what the civil society is supposed to do. We are seen as the solutionists here. We are not seen as people to complain. If you complain, who are you complaining to? What is expected of us is to see solutions. What can we do as NAMS? If we're going to do anything, then there is nobody in this house that can do something. So if we have issues of anything, being it legislation, being it CDF, being it anything, what we need to do as NAMS is to see what we can do. Listen to them and take note. I think what you have raised, we have taken note of it. I think, and also few other clarification that I need to do on the presentation done by Mr. Gay, that he cited an example from Kudang to Kuntau. That road, for those of us who grow up in that stretch, I went to school from Kerawan to Kudang. In our days, if you are to go to school, you leave your uniform in your bag until when you cross. Then after crossing is when you put on your uniform and apply oil. Now that is a history. And when the president lay a foundation of that feeder road, people were saying it is politics. So sometimes it is good to give, to be grateful, right? Even in this hall, my good sister here wanted to log in the Wi-Fi, it was not going. So you cannot have, there is no system that will give you everything and anything you need. But sometimes being grateful also is a requirement for a Muslim. I think with that being said, I will end my discussion here and also reaffirm that your concerns are well noted. Thank you.
Please introduce yourself. People want to know.
My name is Honorable Dawda Jeng, Nyamenes. Thank you.
So honorable members will have the chance to talk for the next 3 speakers, and I've already identified the 3 honorable members I want to speak, and they are on the last row. Please be reminded to introduce yourself before you speak. It's 1 to 1.
No, you cannot do that. I am number 9. I raised my hand before that one.
But you went out. I wanted to.
No. I am here. I my number. No, boss. But you can speak. Thank you so very much. Activista Gambia, I definitely want to thank you, especially the one who presented. The presentation was so good and it went direct to the point without beating about the bush. Most of the people will attest to the fact that I have not attended many engagements of this nature. The other thing that I want to talk about is politicizing the National Assembly. There is only one problem that we have as a parliament, that is politicizing the National Assembly. Whether people like it or not, whether people want to hear it or not, is the bitter truth. Now, when matters comes to the National Assembly, everybody will be looking at, is this coming from my party? What is my party stand? What does my party think about this? Simply because they believe that for them it's about the party and not about the nation. And this has been a constant problem. And it reflects back to social media. Social media have also a party they support. Now, once that party is against certain things, they go against that thing. Once that party is in support of that thing, they go in support of that thing. Zakaria, I am to correct you on what you said about the members of National Assembly agreeing on their selfish interests. Undoubtedly, National Assembly members have been very, very selfish, which is known. But mark me, I rejected salary increment. But one of the things that I will not do, I will not hand it over to someone who is corrupt to go and use that money for corruption again. That I am not going to do. That I want to correct. The other thing I want to tell the people is, when the National Assembly increased the nomination fee to 150,000 for the nomination of members of National Assembly, now they increased the nomination for president to $1 million, which was queried. Everybody remained muted as a nation. Few individuals, few National Assembly members rejected, and everybody remained muted, as if poverty is insincerity, poverty is corruption, as if those that are poor are not honest people. Clap for me. You see, as a nation, when we want to build our nation, it can only be built based on truth, based on sincerity, and based on honesty. So long that is not applied, then we are finished. The main reason as to why the Gambia is not developing is because of the National Assembly. Billahi wallahi. One, let me tell you, National Assembly should perform oversight function. But what kind of oversight function are they performing? And that is something to look at. We went to agricultural institutions. All the tractors, all the combine harvesters, the tricycles, for instance, are all thrown on this thing, on the sun, with dust and everything, and nobody found at it except Omar Janjambure. Nobody found at it except Omar Janjambure. So this is the kind of challenge that we face as a nation. We see the realities, but everybody is blinded towards the truth. Regarding tribalism, I told my constituency that the most important people here are the Mandinkas, Fulas, Manjakos, and others. We as Jolas, we are the least important people in the constituency. When the constituency development fund came to my constituency, the first priority I give it to Mandinka communities. Why? Because some of the time when people are elected, the people that are majority in the area are the people that are elected. So you give the people, other people, the priority before giving it to your own people. Clap for me whether you like me or not. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Madam, thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Yes, please, let's listen.
Okay, Madam, thank you very much. While we appreciate the critics and questions from other participants, it is important to actually acknowledge the impact Activista's activity has on our work, and we are very much happy, and we would want to have more. I am Honorable Lamin Sisi, National Assembly Member for Kia West constituency. Madam, while we do that appreciation, it is important that as members of parliament, we also try to make certain important clarifications. However, my very own friend, Honorable Bakari, has been very much constructive as far as National Assembly issues are concerned. And but I want to make clarification on one thing all the times, and I would differ with Bakari and that of my brother sitting over there. Look, when government submitted a budget in 2024, there was an allowance increment for the entire civil service. You didn't approve. Traveling allowance, house allowance. You didn't approve, we approved it. No National Assembly member rejected it. There was a 30% salaries increment. The entire National Assembly members agreed on that, which does not touch the National Assembly. But the entire civil service across. And the entire National Assembly agreed on that. We never disagreed on it. Wallahi, we never while I agree with all the young people as far as them holding the government to account, but we must be frank in talking to each other. We must know how governance works. If you follow budget session, this happened. Mr. Diba, you follow budget session so much. This happens when that was increased for the entire civil service. National Assembly entirely agreed on that. And some of us, what we disagree on is that some people like Central Badibu and some other names said, let them restructure salaries so that those that are getting higher paid can have a smaller percentage of increment, and those that are lesser paid can have a higher percentage of increment. But in terms of whether it should be agreed for the civil service or not, there was no disagreement. And that was approved by the National Assembly. In that year, National Assembly did not do any salaries increment. And National Assembly does not constitute only members of parliament, but the service, which is more than 150 staff. So in the subsequent year, when National Assembly put their budget, government gives a ceiling to say this is the ceiling, every ministry, departments and agency will access this year. So within the ceiling that they have given to the National Assembly, the same ceiling that government has told National Assembly, this is only thing you can have this year. Within that same ceiling, National Assembly increased the salaries for the members of parliament and the National Assembly service staff, which was increased for the entire civil service in the previous year. This is what exactly happened. But I want to believe that something is lacking. Let us interact with documents as young people and the civil society, and even as National Assembly members as well. So I thank all of you and Activista for this constructive engagement. But we must be constructive. Wallahi, we must be constructive. And somebody say when they capture you, we come out. I don't come out as a political party when youths are arrested. I come out as a young person and constructively, and I defend that constructively. So we are coming out because young people are captured, and you are still attacking us to say, you come out when we are captured, this is not what we want. Please, sometimes let us be very constructive in our dialogue so that we can all get what we want. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Order. Thank you very much for inviting us here. I am Honorable Seni Yawara, NAM for Lower Salem constituency. We have heard a lot that we have to appreciate as a representative of the people. There is a proverb says in Wolof, Kubot Buki Haj Bowla. Yes, and we have to accept the realities. We have to accept the criticisms. We have to accept everything is said by the people as long as we are occupying that seat. But again, as the member of Lower Salem constituencies, I also doesn't want to say things that are not real in me. I don't look people eyes and tend to pretend the reality. I don't do that. In constituencies engagement, no NAM should give excuse on constituencies engagement. One, because we are paid constituencies allowances that you need to reach your people in the constituencies. Meeting your people that make you to know what is happening in your constituencies. You don't need to make dialogue with your people, because if you are living with your people, always living with your people and engage with them, it doesn't create a dialogue whereby you're going to spend millions of dollars cooking, cheap, cooking things. One day you finish. No, it doesn't need it. As a representative, I don't need that. Whereby one day I will call people with their manners, we gather and eat and laugh. At the end of the day, we don't go with anything. I don't do that. What I do is that I represent my people, because every month I am paid allowances to go and see my people in the constituencies. And that allowances, I use it.
1 minute. I'll go 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
Parliament, 7 minutes.
Yes, okay. Then let me get my questions. You know, our national budget, and again, in this country, we need prayers. National prayers. You see, we must change the narrative as young people. We are representative, and again, we approve the budget as it is in document or papers. But today, if we approve a ceiling, we don't implement that ceiling. It's a minister that whereby one day he can come that I don't get these monies. What can you do? Nothing, absolutely. We have seen at the end of the day, when we approve budget, that budget doesn't go as it's supposed to. But if you ask the minister, where is the money? Then you feel doomed. You don't have any question to ask again. And we said our budget is a program-based budgeting. Means before we set any budget, we have to interact with our people. Are we doing that? No. No. Again, our budget are not prioritized accordingly on national development. Are we doing it? No. But as a parliamentarians, let's not make a lip services. Yes, salaries is increased. You talk about it and you have rejected it. But at the end of the day, you are paid that service. Did you refund it back to the treasury? No. You see, national assemblies, the CDFs, that is given out to us. What we are doing, even if you put yourself in my shoe today, if you are elected and you are given that constituency development fund, you will not.
Thank you so much, Honorable. We'll take civil society from that end before we come back to this end. Civil society from this end, civil society members from this end. It has been concentrated on that side of the room for some time now. Let's move to this side. Civil society, no? You want
Good afternoon, members of Parliament, comrades, Activista Gambia. I am Ba'ansu Jabate, the Vice Chair, Activista NBR. This is a very recognized occasion, and then I must show my appreciation to the members of Parliament, especially my parliamentarians from North Bank region. Before protesting further, I will show my appreciation to those that have answered to our call. But on the contrary also, I will also show my dismay to a few of the parliamentarians that were invited and later been turned down at the dying minute. Well, I'll quote from one of the former presidents of America, John F. Kennedy, who says, as citizens, we should always ask ourselves, what can we do for our country, rather than asking this rhetorical question, what can my country do for me? I don't think there will be any engagement that will be more pivotal, whereby members of Parliament will have this direct contact with their people that they call as representatives. It is frustrating. In fact, I will quote from some of the committee members when they will say, this is one of the most vital initiatives by Activista Gambia. Why? I believe it's because of this has been a platform, or there has been a platform where they were given that avenue to have that direct contact with their people, with their representatives. So I implore the parliamentarians, anytime you are called upon, by your people that you are representing, nothing on earth should be more pivotal to you by not responding to them. Thank you.
You saw your right.
Yes, no, because he's my boss. Okay, assalamu alaikum. I am Sain Zaha from Banjul, Activista Chairperson. First and foremost, I will give a big applause to my 3 MPs in Banjul. They are accessible and they are hardworking for Banjulian. So thank you. My question will similarly differ or will different here today. Basically, what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to ask the National Assembly members is about in the Gambia here, there is a lot of drug abuse by the young people and across the country. And then I know drug enforcement make legalized marijuana in the Gambia, and also many people are using this in the Gambia. Now, what is your role as National Assembly members that our young girls have been abused, they have been exploited, a lot of bars in the Gambia here, which our young sisters have been exploited every now and then. Is there any mechanisms or laws that will state the National Assembly to minimize that local restaurants in the Gambia so that they can reduce the exploitation of our young sisters in the Gambia?
Thank you so much, Honorable from Banjul. We now move to, we'll come to the Honorable, oh my God, okay, ma. Okay.
No, for Satang, I am not the supreme leader. I am her husband, so that's it. Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings and thank you, Activista Gambia, for this wonderful initiative. I have a question for the National Assembly members. I don't know who is going to take on that. I want to ask, why do citizens still, struggle to see meaningful control over corruption and abuse of office? I don't know which National Assembly member can take that. Yeah, thank you. I am Hakim Toure, the National Coordinator for Gala. Yeah.
I said you should repeat your question.
Corruption. I said.
Even though we have the anti-corruption.
I said, even though we have an anti-corruption commission here, I want to see why citizens still, struggle to see meaningful control over corruption and abuse of power. Yeah.
In the face of the laws.
So that I can answer.
Briefly, please. Time is up.
I will use this opportunity. Okay. Thank you very much, Satan. I have to respond to a few questions, and I want to apologize, Activista, for not being able to attend the dialogue in Central Baribo. But that's not the first of its kind. We had dialogue with Future in our hands, and myself, I'm always organizing dialogue. But sometimes the challenge that we have, these political issues that you're talking about, it happens in our constituencies. You call for a meeting, NPP or other, it's only GDC who will show up. NPP, they will not send representative to attend your meeting as a NAM. And they see NAMs in a different way. Like, for example, this is what I always tell them. Of recent, I went to Naule village. I said, I'm your Adama Barrow, I'm your Mama Kande, I am your president. Because those people will not come here. But for me, I have to come to you regularly. So any issue that you have, you should be able to approach the MP and tell him your issues. Like when the parliamentary sessions are coming, we need the community, the youths to engage us, to bring issues. In parliament, what we can do is, somebody asks about corruption. In parliament, we can have matter of the day. We can have motions. We can have bills. And I think we have to salute the 5th and the 6th legislature in the Gambia. There are a lot of matter of the day. There are a lot of private member bills that came through that parliament. And you have seasoned politicians here in this country who serve in that parliament. They never brought even a single motion in their life history, neither a bill. You know them here. So I think we have to give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. But we still believe that there is a gap. Now the gap is how do we improve on the private member bills? Now let me make this thing clear. Now the private member bills, here we are. Honorable Mbo is from NRP, but part of the coalition. If we feel that Honorable Sao is not the right messenger, why not Honorable Mbo come up with it? Particularly the private member bill. On that fateful day in the parliament, I was crying. You approach MPs, they are telling you, definitely your bill is a right bill, but we cannot vote for you. It's because of our party. or we will not come to parliament next time. They'll vote us out. So we have to look at the dynamics. Activism must start engaging political leaders. The political leaders must know that their MPs are not properties. And this is what is happening. Now, we talk about MPs. Somebody was saying that National Assembly members, sometimes when issues of our salaries, remunerations come, it brings a lot of debates. But misinformation also, we need to be very careful. I was listening to one media, they said MPs are paid $100,000 for their clothing allowance. And this 100,000 is for only, is within the 5 years. So it's not every month. So if you divide that one per month for 5 years, it's $1,500. 1,500, 1,600. But the concept why in the National Assembly, the Office of the Clerk initiated this, when we came in the 5th legislature, wallahi, if you see some of your MPs, the way they dress in that assembly, it was out of the dress code of the parliament. Do you understand? So I'm not justifying that, we need to enrich ourselves with your property. But you are traveling and you meet with other MPs. How do you expect your MP who is representing this country, do you understand, with a low salary, to go and misrepresent Gambia?
Thank you, Honorable.
So I think, Activista, you are doing a great job. And today I'm happy we know that we can hand over the baton to very conscious citizens of this country. But be with us. Don't marginalize us. Correct us. Talk with us. But to recruit somebody in your constituency becomes a problem. To recruit, to say now, I'm done with this work, I want to go to farm and do my work. They all run away from you. People that you expect they are educated, they can add value to the cause. So I think we need to engage our youths to see what it do us, and we all plan our exit. You take over that house, maybe we can have better laws, better motions for the nation.
Thank you so much, Honorable. I am so touched by what you just said about including young people and giving them the chance to participate in National Assembly. And when we talk about participation, we're also talking about mentorship. So we hope that every National Assembly member who is here today has someone that they are mentoring in their constituency, so that whenever they leave, that person or that set of young people are able to take over. Activista chairpersons, please, I apologize. This is your activity. We'll rather give priority to others, and I will go to Mr. Diba, then come to Omar. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, good afternoon. And I'd like to start off by saying a huge thank you to Activista for organizing this event. Quite important, quite significant that we are all here, civil society, parliamentarians, talking about important things. And I think I'll take us back to Cherno's presentation. I feel like it's been neglected a little bit. Cherno talked about recommendations from 53 constituencies, right? 45, right? All right. So condensed as recommendations toward water improvement, electricity, healthcare, youth, education, inclusion, agriculture, and economic development. I think these are macro level things that we want improved. I want to link this to the budget. The question of whether these issues are being addressed in our national budgets or not. The answer is yes. And I'll go further to say that yes, at the formulation of the budget, planning stage of the budget, if you look at the budget that is approved by our National Assembly members, it sufficiently covers every problem that we need addressed in this country. Be it water, be it education, be it electricity, and all of that. Oh, please, I need more time, please. And I would also want to say, I'll take this along with numbers. Water, he mentioned. There is a project in the national budget right now, 2026. that is about a project, that is about water supply. Do you know the budget for it? For just 12 months, 2.2 billion Gambian dollars to address water supply issue within the greater Banjul area. But again, remember one thing. I want you to remember one thing. This is as approved. As approved means an estimate. They are estimating to receive 2.2 billion Gambian dollars within 12 months to address water supply problems within the greater Banjul area. It's called WASIP project, for some of you who would like to go further to do research on it. So this is sufficient to solve our water supply problem, at least within the greater Banjul area, right? Okay, that's not it, that's not it. Another one, electricity. We have Gambia. Okay, let me sum it. Okay, now let me put it this way. I'll give reference. 2024, there were 9 major projects about agriculture, electricity, rural development and things like that. 9 major projects. Each of them were worth 500 million and above dollars for 12 months to address key national issues that we have within our country. It doesn't stop there. 2025, we had 16 major projects. Again, education, electricity, water, you name it. 16 major projects worth 500 million and above. So this is from 500 million to 2 billion Gambian dollars. Sometimes to 1.9 billion Gambian dollars. 2026, the same thing. 15 major projects that are worth 500 million Gambian dollars and above. And I'm saying just for 12 months. And these budgetings are being done to address these problems that Cherno mentioned. Water, electricity, healthcare, and all of that. In fact, malaria control services, we have $807 million for malaria control services for allocated for just 2026. Do we still have malaria problem? And this project has been going on for years. Do we still have malaria issues here? We do. Why am I talking about major projects when, for a fact, the government on average, on a yearly basis, approves around 90 government projects for implementation. And when I say projects, they are about the development of the Gambia.
Sorry, your time.
You know?
Sorry. We can continue the discussion on social media for those that haven't continued. Omar, 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much. So I have a lot to address, but the 1 minute will not be sufficient. I just want to respond to the Honorable on the justification of the clothing allowance that then teachers also dress very badly. We should pay them to look good because they represent and teach our kids. So I don't think that's the justification. But, my first point is the quick debate about protests and young people being arrested and the NAMs coming there. We don't want you to come to see us in the cell. You had an opportunity to make sure that we are not arrested by amending the Public Order Act, and you refuse to amend the Public Order Act. And this is not just a call for us. The TRRC recommended this, that the Public Order Act is supposed to be amended. If you don't amend the Public Order Act, it came through a private member bill. Congratulations, Honorable. And I don't know the interest of partisans in a Public Order Act. That was the most shocking, and I still shocked that NAMS rejected it on partisan basis. It doesn't serve any party. It serves this country. Don't come and see us behind bars. Repeal the law that takes us behind bars. And quickly, oversight. I think Honorable Shane is not here. You talked about if you approve the budget or approve things, it goes to the minister. Now the minister implemented, and if they don't, that is why among your key functions is oversight. You ensure that you don't just approve, but you monitor the implementation, and then they are implemented. Otherwise, you approving it is meaningless and valueless. And finally, I submitted a petition to the National Assembly against Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly on the ethics and discriminatory and abuse of power on an alleged audio. This is beyond partisan politics. This is about national unity, and I hope and pray that petition is admitted and then accountability mechanisms are taken. This is an election year. We cannot lose that.
Thank you. We'll allow Diba give his recommendations.
Right. Thank you very much. So what I was recommendations to you, what I was talking about were things that were approved, that the government promised that it will implement for the Gambian people, for the development of the Gambia. we're talking about billions of Gambian dollars, right? Now, of course, if you approve 20 billion, you expect to get how much? Who can guess? I mean, a good budgeter for a household, if you approve 20,000, how much do you expect to get? You approve it based on expectations that are valid, that are real, right? How much do you expect to get? At least 15,000, right? But the problem with our development is that all of these are presented to the people that, of course, will provide you with these things, but we don't know exactly how much comes in real terms, in actuals. It's 15 projects, 16 projects, 500 million and above, but when you check some of those projects, 2 billion can be approved and 0 is reported to have been received for development. And this is a serious issue, and that is how it is reported in our national budget. And I want to ask this question, because there could be, one more thing, there could be a thing of like, okay, maybe it's not reported in the budget, but it is being done. I want to ask the National Assembly members this question. Do you know on an annual basis how much money is spent on the development of the Gambia, development budget? On an annual basis, in actual terms. We know planning stage, we know it's, of course, 17 billion, 19 billion, 20 billion. But out of that, how much is realized? Do you even know? Because, why am I asking this question? Honorable Sheriff Sar, during debate, at the debate of the National Assembly, at the plenary, he said, Honorable Speaker, I might paraphrase, I don't want to quote, Honorable Speaker, how much did we receive as grants this past year, 2024? And by the way, $9 billion was approved as grants for 2024. Do you know how much is reported to have been received in our budget? Negative, I don't know, negative 82 million. That's not even practically possible, but that's what is being reported in our budget. Why am I referring to the budget being reported? Because citizens need to see things in the budget to hold you accountable. Monitoring, somebody has mentioned here. Without proper monitoring, and in fact, without transparency and proper monitoring, you cannot fight corruption, because accountability will not be possible. I think he's giving
I'm giving him my time.
All right, thank you very much. So how do we, recommendations, how do we ensure this problem is solved? First, transparency for every country that wants to fight corruption, that wants to ensure accountability. For every country, it begins with what? Transparency. And transparency with what? With respect to our national budget. Look, guys, what I'm saying here right now, our national budget for years, members,
30 seconds.
Our honorable National Assembly members, our national budget for years is being approved incomplete. Our national budget for years has never been complete. Remember, guys, why am I saying it? Because the actual part of our national budget is not being reported fully. They are presenting incomplete information to you, and you're making decisions based off of incomplete information, and that leads to what? That leads to wrong decisions. Wrong decisions. The second thing that I would like to, this thing is GLF, government local funds. We have government local funds. 43.49 billion was approved as government local funds for 2026. Do you know how much is allocated to our development? 4.86 billion. That is about 11 to 12% of the entire government local funds. I mean government local funds, including tax revenue, non-tax revenue, and all of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that means our national development is being neglected for the office comfort. Office comfort. So I mean, why not introduce a quota system? GLF quota system. And I'm not quoting this out of thin air. LGAs are already implementing this. They are saying 60% of our budget should go back to the people. Okay, maybe the recurrent budget envelope of the central government is too high, right? Why not at least make it 60-30 in favor of the recurrent budget? That means 60% for the recurrent budget, 30% guaranteed, 30% GLF guaranteed for the development budget. Because what we've seen is that the projects that are donor funded, no reporting is being done, and that should be regulated, by the way. Ensure full reporting, and yes, by the way,
Mr. Diba, but we may
and regulation of the operating cost.
Thank you, Mr. Diba. We have to take the mic right now. Thank you. No, he gave his time to him. Please, let's be organized. So now we are going back to National Assembly members, and I want to start with Honorable over there, the one with the cap.
also have a question for the I don't think fair that the way you're doing this thing is not fair.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. First, I must say the conversation is really very, very good. And you know, this is an opportunity for all of us. And once you have your elected officials together with those that elect them to discuss about the issues surrounding their work, I think this is something that's very, very healthy. And I think we need to do more of these things. We all cannot agree on the same thing. And we all have opinions. And our opinions is based on our beliefs. So it must not be something like me against who. It's not about that. But it's about really the way you say things and the way I say things, but we can discuss. Like if you see Cherno, who was my opponent in 2022 exactly, yeah, 2022. But that's past. We work together. We discuss issues related to Salom. And that's what it is. Because I don't look at him as he's an enemy. So no, I don't. At all. And he knows that very well. He's my young brother. He's my nephew. And Komibama also. So that's all. He knows that. So it's not a matter of like me against this person, me against other persons. It's not about that. And I think we need to learn about those things together. I think we can build a better country. Now, some questions were asked, essentially dealing with these goings, but maybe dealing with the budget and stuff. And we must understand these things. You know, institutions are built to do particular things. When the budget is passed by the National Assembly, Parliament has created an institution called the Accountant General and give responsibilities to the Accountant General by way of an act of Parliament called the Public Finance Act. What do? They are the one responsible for uploading the budget, and they are the one responsible also to ensure that what you want to buy is within what is allocated to you. Not the budget, but what is allocated. Because you can budget, but the Minister of Finance will allocate to you to buy A, B, C, and D. And that is the responsibility of the Accountant General's office. Now, in doing so also, the Accountant General will check whether that has been approved or allocated, and then they go ahead and do that. But before they pay, they also ensure that the right documents are presented to them before they pay to that particular vendor. That is through an act of Parliament from the Public Finance Act. Before also paying, there's another institution also created by an act of Parliament, which is the Public Finance Act. They created the Internal Audit Directorate as well. What do? They vet all these things. So even before you come to Parliament also, there's another check, which is the Auditor General as well. That also checks all these things there before you come to National Assembly. So in as much as members want to check a lot of other things, they've also created institutions to be able to do that on their behalf before it comes to them. Okay, let me just take 1 minute to finish that, and then somebody asked about corruption also, which is fine. You see, let's look at corruption holistically. When you talk about corruption, there's a giver and there's a taker. There's a proposer and there's an acceptor. We must understand that. So it's not only one-sided, like you say government. No, government and who? Is it government to government? Is it government to the private sector? We need to understand that. So in as much as we have laws that govern that, we must also ensure that we, the people, we, the private sector also, don't encourage and don't initiate and don't offer. Because it's give and take. So we must look at these two holistically. In fact, even though we as government, we are tasked to oversee the resources of the nation, but some that are not tasked are enticing, are offering you, are pushing you. So we need to look at the other side as well. So what we got to do as a nation, we must fight this together. Not only the government, but also the private sector as well are equally important in the fight against corruption.
Thank you so much, Honorable. You wanted to answer a question, is it?
No.
On the petition? All right, so we move to the honorables around this side.
Thank you very much. How much time do I have?
1 minute.
1 minute is so too short. That's why I never want to intervene in the first place. Because yes, so I didn't want to intervene, but I will intervene for two reasons. One, the gentleman behind me talked about our oversight with regards to the budget, and I must inform him that by law the minister is required to report to National Assembly mid-year and end-year for budget execution, the level of budget execution. And he has been doing that. And now, because a honorable member asks the question, doesn't mean he doesn't know. Sometimes you want to put the minister on spot to be on record so that the whole Gambian know from his mouth. But what Sirif Sar was asking, he knew, because he was having the details. Every budget session, before we start, we have budget actuals. At that point, how far has the execution at that level? Every committee has that. Everybody has that. So he knew what he was asking, but he wanted to get it from the minister's mouth so that he is on record. So those are some of the techniques we use as parliament. Not that every question somebody asks, he doesn't know. No, he knows it. He wants to get it from the minister's mouth directly. So that. And the second point I want to do is like, people want to treat National Assembly, somebody said it's not it's a political house. National Assembly is a political house. That's why political parties go to campaign to send representatives there. And political parties are part of the country. They are supposed to represent the interests of the country. As an opposition, you have a program for development for this country. When you win, you bring along that program you are having as an opposition, and it becomes a national program. So now, those in the opposition also who have a different program, different from yours. So sometimes people talk as if oppositions are from mass. and oppositions are from mass. What they have is not for the interest of the country. You are the one who have interest of the country. No, that's a misconception. We must have divergent views, fine. And also, if you are an activist or anybody, with the exception of Askanbi, most of the activities of the National Assembly are underreported in this country. Because most of the time they come 1 hour, journalists come 1 hour, 2 hours, they go. Maybe he stays there the whole night. I haven't seen him. But Gambians don't know what National Assembly is doing. He didn't mention anything here new. If you follow National Assembly, you see honorable members on floor putting points he is raising. But Gambians don't know about it. Because journalists come there for headlines. After headlines, they disperse. Sometimes Gambians outside will complain, we are not saying this, we are not saying this. But even bills are coming. This Public Order Act, how many activists came to witness it when it was passing? None. You sat outside and say, but when we are champion, you were there, others were there. After you interview, but how many Gambians as activists come, or somebody so-called, any Gambians interested in the come to witness it and give us moral support? Your presence means a lot. But how many of you came? So when you start here and say, we are not doing, no. And if you are judging National Assembly, look at who is voting and how they are voting. It's very important. It's very unfair to take us in general and bomb us all with your bazooka. It's not fair. No. It's so very style. I don't want to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One house, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And
okay, everyone was listening to you.
Yeah, now I'm on the floor. Honorable.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's have one house, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Activista, for this brilliant initiative. Few things that I learned out of this dialogue is making me more of scary than actually. For me, I'm getting more of scared. One reason why I'm getting more of scared is like, in this discussion, it seems that we kind of separating citizens from members of parliament. We must not forget the fact that as much as some of us are elected as members of parliament, equally we are citizens of this country. So as such issues that you are affected with, we are equally affected with the same issues. If you look at a National Assembly member, it appears that we are more of accessible than any other representative in this country. So as such, we should be working as a team. Hearing from a colleague saying, since the members of the National Assembly cannot amend the Public Order Act, which is Section 5, meaning we shouldn't be visiting when young people are arrested. We shouldn't be visiting them at their detention centers. For me, I think that is the least remark an activist should make, to be honest with you. The fact of the matter here is, if you look at the Public Order Act, when it came before the floor of the House, some of us stood to ensure that that part is being amended. But again, we couldn't find a way out, and it passed through, or it was never amended rather. So as such, as my colleague rightly said, you cannot blame all of us for the lack of amending that part of the Public Order Act. And also, I think the amount of energy we spend out there trying to fight corruption, trying to ensure that things are put in place, where we should start with is putting that huge energy at the floor of the House in ensuring that bills of that nature, when they are tabled before the House, we all do the needful in ensuring that such amendments are done. When the Public Order Act, the Section 5, when the amendment came before us, we were seeing very few faces. And sometimes the pressure from the CSO or from the public always has an impact or influence the decision of members. So we cannot work in separation. We have to work as a team. We all have the same problem. We are seeing issues happening in this country that if we want to address, we must go on the streets to do the needful. We cannot do it for one or two reasons. And as such, the law is affecting all of us. Just a second, Saddam, please. With the budget as well, we're talking a lot. I think with Mr. Diba, personally, I have to thank him simply because during bilaterals, he will be always with members, more especially members that sit in committees that are related to social issues. For example, health, youth, agriculture, you name it. He has been always engaging members to enlighten them on issues that he thinks are important and could make an impact on the budget. These are the kind of approach we want to see. We are humans. We might not really get all that it requires for we to do justice on our national budget. But again, collectively, as citizens, being it a CSO, being it whatever, if we come together, we can definitely fix these problems. And it appears that in this country, our major problem is we work as competitors instead of complementing each other. On that note, I rest my case.
Thank you so much. We have one clarification from Uncle here about the petition. Before we move.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to say that...
Which petition is this?
Which petition? It's just petition in general. You don't serve. Yes, thank you for this opportunity, because we always need this opportunity to make this clarification. And then all those who want to come up, order. All those who want to come up with petitions must also understand the criteria for making petitions. Otherwise, your petition will not be admissible. So when a petition comes, it should be addressed to the clerk, not to the speaker, not to the committee chair. It should be addressed to the clerk of the House. That should be clear. If you address it to the committee chair, it will not reach the committee chair. So it should be addressed to the clerk. Now, when the petition reaches the clerk has lawyers with him. He has a team, and they will look into the petition to see its admissibility or otherwise. And if the petition is admissible, they will push it to the committee chair, and the committee will look into it to start inquiring into it. But if it is not admissible by their own observation, they would advise the petitioner that your petition is not admissible, and the reason why it is not admissible, because it has a criteria. And they will advise you also what to do, the needful to do, to be able to come back the second time to give yourself a chance, if you still feel that the petition is necessary. Now, if you come for the second time, you bring the petition the second time, the clerk has nothing to do with it now. It must go to the committee straight away for the committee to look at it again to see whether they will want to inquire into it or they will not inquire into it. If they want to inquire into it, they go ahead and do their work. call the petitioners first to come give their evidence, and they move on to other people they feel that they need to contact. That's how we go about petitions. So everybody should understand that. And you also have your members of the National Assembly. Each National Assembly member has a right to support your people to write a petition so that it will be admissible to bring it to Parliament. So if you really don't know how to write a petition, or you are not sure, contact your National Assembly member who will inquire into your petition and ensure that it is written in the right way so that it will be admissible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable. We'll take the last National Assembly member before we move to civil society to do the closing.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to use the opportunity. I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the friendly community of Bundung to thank Activista for this engagement. Actually, they came to our community and we had a very good discussion. But it doesn't only stop at that level, because as a community, we try to scope our environment, know the type of people who are there, stakeholders who are in our community, so that we can engage with them. But basically, I can happily tell you and inform you that as far as Bundung is concerned, especially the youth sector, they are very proactive in their community activities. So community engagement, you may have different approach. It doesn't only mean okay, an organization like Activista or any other should come and engage you. Even you, as the representative of the people, going to the Gamos is a community engagement, because when you go there, they give you platform to speak. When you go to funerals, when youths, when they have their sporting activities, they invite you. You go, you have platform to discuss with them. In fact, even naming ceremony, these are all community engagement. It depends how you utilize that platform. So for that being the case, because for me, my understanding is we are here to discuss about the outcome of the engagement that you had with us in our communities. The gentleman over there was talking about the water issue and the project, the WASIT project. I can happily inform him that as far as my community is concerned, in fact, the project has been approved, and in fact, we were supposed to launch it just 2 weeks ago, but because I was not here, and work has started to address the water issue in Bundung. So the thing is, we just have to take responsibility. And when we are community leaders, let's try to be open and engage everybody. Though you cannot have everybody on board. Others will be positive, others will be negative. But what is important for you as the leader, no matter what happens, you have to love everyone, and you have to be willing to work with everyone and explore the potentials within your community so that you can achieve your common goal as a community.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. We move to the last 3 commentators from civil society. Let's have my brother at the back. He's giving me a bombastic side eye.
Bombastic side eye. Bombastic side eye. Huh?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I hope Mohamed Kambo from UR Activista. I had 3 points, but I think I will have to go with just 2 because if I was going to ask about the CDF, my name is not here, and then it's just rather unfortunate. So, what's it? Okay.
Half of your time is gone.
Yes, okay, quickly. So, talking about NAMs coming back to constituencies to engage with the people. I brought some food and I wanted to say something around that. I don't feel it's something that is obligated to citizens to call you or the members of the constituency to call you to come back. It's your responsibility to come back to your people and talk to them, engage with them. So, but then the only time we see our NAM is when he's coming with our CDF funds, and then he's using these funds for his personal tournaments. They will name after him that he's one bringing up the tournaments for the military and the engaging people, which I believe is not the right thing to do. Alright? And then another key thing which is very much important is, like Honorable Jaffa said, that we are all citizens, whether we are the CSOs and then
the honorable members, we are all the citizens of this country. We have irregularities happening around the country, and then if there are people to fix this, it's us working together to make sure we fix these things. However, if there are problems happening, there are things that are not going right, I think the right people to let you know that these things are not going right is the CSOs, and this is our responsibility here. So in as much as you are humans, you are bound to make mistakes. When you make your mistakes, it is us who can come and tell you that what you are doing is not in the right direction. You have to do this and that and that. Don't see it as an attack. Don't see it as we are trying to fight you. It's for you to do the right thing, and we are holding you account to what you're supposed to do. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I am Bakari Job, chairperson Activista LRA. I have a recommendation, and that is about the recommendation that was that Chona was talking about here. That is creating offices in their constituencies. I think that is going to take time, but then they have, all the constituencies have national youth parliamentarians in their constituency. I think it would be important that they have those national youth parliamentarians as their PA. so that those people will be in their constituencies in order to help them. All right, and then from that, we have been talking about Public Order Act here, Public Order Act repeal or to change or to repeal it. But I think now young people have taken this as a responsibility that with or without permit, repeal. People are going out when the need arises. So it is better you come together as Gambians in order to repeal the Public Order Act. We understand that those people that are supporting it have the minority in the parliament. But then put party aside and then come together as Gambians, you repeal the act. Because if not, with or without permit, when the need arises, people are going out to protest. So thank you. And then I also want to ask one question. How much is the constituency development fund? Please.
The constituency development fund is $500,000.
Minus tax. Minus tax.
Minus tax, which I don't know how much.
Taxes included.
Every year. But 2024 was skipped. 2024 was skipped by the office of the clerk.
Thank you. So I want to remind all of you that there is